Yo, I'm in the coop today. I don't really know what to talk about, but we about to talk about some shit. So recently, let's talk about an L that I recently took. I take a lot of L's. Shit. Don't we all take a lot of L's? Let me turn this microphone on so y'all can hear me without all of the background noise, hopefully. How that sound? Alright, so I'm leaving the work with behind for good reason. I'm starting to try to trust it more. I live in the hood, so it's hard for me to trust just leaving my van with my work materials inside of it safely. But let's talk about an L that is, trust me, promise me, or I should say, I promise you that this relates. Promise me y'all gonna stick around. So recently I was competing in a film competition. Uh, and, I got a burning passion for figuring shit out as I go, whether that be creating a film or starting a new project or turning to school or anything like that. And I've been noticing, a lot of the crew that I had from before, a lot of film school students, they've been kind of, falling off the radar. Some of them I fell out with because I just wasn't trying to tolerate insanity. But a lot of them, you know what I mean? They act like they want to do it, but they really don't want to do it. And then you reach out to people or you make posts, and a lot of people say they'll show up, they never show up. Or the people who should be on set with you, don't see you as the celebrity that they see other people in Milwaukee as. So they rather go to the set with the celebrities. And they're not celebrities at all. I'm being very facetious. And then they'd rather, stand around, not do anything on their sets as opposed to actually contributing to one of mine. And it's one of those ego things, I guess, especially me being a mental health professional, that I try to check immediately. Because to be clear, nobody owes me nothing. Nobody has to come help me with anything that I do. And the fact that I'm at not the beginning of my journey, but I'm at the beginning of the next phase of my journey, I just have to understand that this is going to be one of the hardest parts to break out of. That part being going from being super creative, having dope ideas, but having no budgets to get this stuff done. And by no budget, I don't mean no camera, no lighting, no whatever. We've overcome that part of it. But I mean, like, not having a budget to be able to pay anybody. And in these local film competitions, they actually make it against the rules to pay anybody anything, to make it even and fair. I mean, not like anybody's gonna hire Denzel for 48, but if I was rich, I sure as fuck would try. What I'm going to say is, I just noticed, a general lack or disinterest or unengagement of certain, just situations and people that's preventing me from being able to cook the way I wanted to cook. And then, when morale is low, I'm not the type to give up, but if there's only so much you can do with one or two people on the film set. And when I do have five, everybody else thinks it can't be done, so they just would rather not do it at all, which is cool, but it's making me reevaluate what I need to do. Like, apparently the circle of friends that I have and the people that I am around, not all of them, because a lot of them are very dope and they help me with a lot of creative things, but that just means that I need to expand my network more. I need to be around more people who want to do this more seriously, more frequently, and I might even have to just move to get this shit done. And just recently I wasn't able to compete in the film competition. I had 6 days to do it, and granted, I was doing a ton of stuff in between and around, but people don't really understand that part of it, just because I don't know, maybe they aren't doing as much as I'm doing, so they think that if I'm not every second of the competition concerned about the competition, that maybe I don't care about it as much. But I do care dearly about it. It's just, I got a master's degree, school, homework to do. I got gigs that pay the bills to do. And 6 days is plenty of time, especially when we make movies in 2 days, 48 hours. So it's like, I just wanted to cook. I wanted to create something. And then people falling out and not wanting to do it no more, or quitting because their girl said they couldn't do something, or kids preventing them from being, you know what I mean? And it's like, cool, look, I get it, but I need to evaluate who I'm around, because then I need to be around people who are more readily available for this type of stuff. And even if I'm not the leader of it, okay, cool. Then somebody else needs to start the shit, and they need to hit me so I can help them do it. I just want to be doing it. I want to be creating and cooking. And I got another film competition coming this month, and I don't really know if I'm gonna do it with my group of people. I might not hit none of them and just be like, yeah, I'm doing a competition, and I might just leave it at that, to be honest. Like, and just figure it out myself, or in the very least find a bunch of other 48-hour film people and say, hey, I'd love to blah 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 blah, join your team, or let's do a team collaboration, since you normally lack having the camera and you normally have story and film. Okay, cool, then let's team up and, you know, do the opposite. You know what I mean? And let's, in that way, I at least have a reliable set of whoever is motivated to do it. And I don't even got to bother the people I normally bother, because it seems like they don't want to be bothered, with this at least. Yeah, and the most important thing about all of this is, you know, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. I didn't necessarily run, but all of the money that I spent, all of the time that I spent was not a waste. It was a lesson learned. And this is just one of those moments where you know, you fold, or not fold, because that's the wrong word, where you learn to walk away, so that way you can walk towards something better, or something similar that you'll be able to actually execute, so you can learn more from. And I don't necessarily feel like it was a failure. I'm disappointed that I didn't get something done when I normally always get something done, but I am human and I can't do everything myself. And sometimes you just gotta, like I said, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And I just held them. This time we held them. We're gonna hold them this time. That does not mean that the journey doesn't continue. The journey definitely continues, and we're gonna keep going. So even if you feel discouraged and you're surrounded by people who don't really want to do what you want to do, that's perfectly fine, man. Just reevaluate, figure out how you could be better, figure out how you can, you know, better support yourself and your endeavors, and keep going. This isn't the end of it. We're going to cook so many dope things this year. This has been a great year so far. This isn't the only L I've taken, and it won't be the last that I've taken this year, this month, this decade, this lifetime. So I'm still excited to be able to make things. I just got to adjust my approach and really look at it, so that way I can continue to make better and better and better things. If for some reason anybody out there who's in the Wisconsin, Illinois, Milwaukee area, I love to work. Let's do something dope. Just for clarity, I'm a director, cinematographer, DP, but I am a Swiss Army knife. I can fit anywhere on a crew. I do prefer to have those roles where I'm able to, you know, help and or dictate with camera as well as story, because I also write. Pretty damn good writer, if you ask me. Also do audio. I grip and I gaff. I gaff as a necessity by being a DP, but I haven't made that my bread and butter. I've been paid for all of these positions at, you know, $750 a day rate. So I'd say I'm good enough to be paid industry rate for each one of these positions, but I prefer to director of photography, direct, write, dictate story, work with actors, camera angles, because I'm just great. I'm naturally at that, and I've been told this. I'm not ego tripping. Either way, though, I'm still flexible. Like, you know, if I'm not bringing my stuff, let's work, let's do it. And even if I am bringing my stuff, let's create something dope, and let's just work together to collaboratively make something that can get us to that next level, so that way we can eat off of this and we don't have to worry about not being able to survive while we cook and we make our arts. Yeah, Coop Talk.